Katie LaSalle. I have this friend who I've known for nearly 20 years. Since she's around my mom's age, I consider her my auntie. She's a wonderful human being and a wise soul. I love and care about her very much. The only glitch in our friendship is that she's a devoted Jehovah's Witness. Since day one, she tried to convert me and uses very subtle methods. It doesn't matter to her that I am Catholic. When she notices I'm down, slash weak, slash depressed, she never misses the opportunity to slide the have a Bible study with me line, meaning come and join Jehovah Witness. Before I met my husband, she would even tell me that I should marry a Jehovah Witness because they are the most ethical men. Really? Like the Sea Org? I learned over the years how to ignore her efforts, but I must admit it's still awfully creepy. Watching your channel gave me great insight in understanding people in cults. I do believe my auntie doesn't mean harm. Jehovah Witness helped her, so she thinks they will help slash save me. Your videos also confirmed what I always suspected of cults, specifically the goal of isolating and stealing money. My auntie is twice divorced. Her first husband took custody of the children back in her homeland, and she came to the U.S. to marry her second husband, and her whole social life evolves around the Jehovah Witness. She used to have a successful business, but now she is retired and lives in a low-level retirement home. Watching her financial decline was shocking to me, and I'm pretty sure it's because every penny she got was donated to the church. It's also sad that her biological families seem distant towards her, even her two children, as I'm sure her endless converting efforts wore them down. My question is this: if my auntie is happy in her religion, should she be left alone and there's no need to intervene to open her eyes? Is our relationship a true friendship if in fact she has hidden agendas of converting me? Do you have any suggestion for dealing with having a friend in a cult, wanting to maintain the friendship, yet needing to tell him slash her to stop in their converting efforts? Okay, Katie, thank you very much for this question. Now, really, the decision is going to be on you because you've definitely presented a whole scenario here, but really not enough information for me to tell you what to do about your auntie, other than say you have to decide which part of this relationship is more important to you, keeping her happy or your honesty and happiness and openness with her. It's perfectly fine to have a social relationship with somebody who's in a destructive cult, and it's perfectly fine to maintain a friendly relationship with somebody who's in a destructive cult. I encourage people to do that. I don't think we should be shunning people who are in these groups or trying to kick them out of our lives or something like that. Not if we're that closely, intimately connected with them and we care about them and they care about us as human beings first. If that relationship is there and established, don't let a cult come between that. That would be my first point. The second point, of course, being that she will never get out of that situation if everybody just abandons her because people double down always on their beliefs. And that's, of course, what she's going to do in the face of attacks or feeling defensive or feeling like she's, needs to protect herself. Remember, all of these beliefs are in a thought fortress in her mind. And she has built walls, very, very solid, very thick walls. That's what it means to be in a destructive cult. And those walls are not going to surrender to you just coming along and knocking on the door and going, hey, this doesn't make any sense. It's a deeper, deeper well than that. And if you want to do or stage some kind of intervention with her or series of conversations that you premeditatively want to create an effect of changing her life, you have to decide first whether you have the right to do that, whether that is really the right thing for her, not for you, and how you're going to best go about doing that if it is the right thing to do. She's at the end stages of her life. She has led a full life, couple of marriages, families, etc. I would encourage her to try to get back in touch with or get in better touch with her family and her friends or any friends she does have, and maybe somehow get across to her. I think my avenue of attack, just with what you told me, and this could be completely wrong, but okay, so if this doesn't feel right to do, then don't do it. But my attitude or my thinking about your situation is I would try to approach her not from the point of view of how bad the Jehovah's Witnesses are or how they've ruined her life, ruined her finances, ruined her relationships. I wouldn't go on that tack. I would go on the tack of, do you want to have closer relationships? Do you ever feel regrets? Do you ever feel bad or sorrowful or, feel a little misty eyed ever about, the fact that your family's a little distant, that you've driven, I wouldn't put it this way, but, that you've driven friends away because of your efforts to convert them all, but somehow have that conversation. However, it needs to be had for her so her hackles don't get raised, her thought fortress doesn't get slammed shut on you. You got to let her invite you in. And it sounds like she's somebody who is willing to talk to you and have real conversations. So slowly but surely, maybe you could open or broach this topic with her and see if she's willing to engage. And if she is, if there is regret, if there is any kind of feeling on her part that she could have done better, or maybe there was something she did that could have possibly put some barriers between her and her family or friends, and then go to, now, what do you think those barriers might be? What do you think you might be doing or have done? Like I said, this is careful, and this is just one of what could be 20 different approaches you take to this. This is just the one that's occurring to me right now as I'm talking. So somehow indirectly getting her to see that she is the one who has created this situation around her, and perhaps she could then invite herself to not do that and to maybe try to strengthen her relationships with just common everyday talk, love, support, compassion, etc., and not religion. you know if it could somehow be gotten across to her that people simply disagree on things, and that's okay. I mean, even something as fundamental as that. However that approach would fit for your circumstances, that's pretty much best advice I can give. I hope it's helpful.